Great. Well, thanks, Heather. Good morning, Heather. How's it going today for you? You have snow. We don't in California.
I know you don't.
Yeah, great. Great. Well, it's been such a great week at GreenBiz 21 and really excited for all we have today. Just a couple of remarks to set the context here about finance. You know, when Joel and I launched GreenBiz 14 years ago, since then it's been just great to watch how the role of Chief Sustainability Officer and corporate sustainability has evolved. CSOs have started working really laterally across their organizations to be effective, whether that's with supply chain or operations or with product marketing. But for a long time, there was one group in most companies that for most CSOs remained very distant and perhaps a little intimidating, and that was finance. So, you know, maybe a sustainability team met with the CFO when they needed sign off on a power purchase agreement, or if a random climate impact question came in from an investor, they'd scramble to provide an answer for the investor relations manager. That's all changed. As the world has come alive around the urgency around solving for climate change and social justice, so too the world of finance and investment has awoken to sustainability. Companies see pension funds, asset managers, ratings agencies driving an increased awareness of ESG. CFOs now see that the cost of capital to raise a green or sustainable bond is in some cases lower than the cost of capital generally. So Heather cited some statistics. 490 billion flowed into green bonds in 2020, 650 billion will this year. And where once it was exotic for a company for a big investor to inquire about a company climate or human capital, companies are now flooded with requests from the BlackRocks, the State Streets, the Fidelities, not to mention the CDPs and the SASBs. As one CSO told me, my company's investor relations VP said, these investors are now asking us the questions that you said 3 years ago we needed to be ready to address. And then another CSO told me, ESG has me spending a lot of time with my CEO. So 347 billion flowed into ESG investments in 2020. Heather mentioned other statistics. This is real money. This is real scale. This is bringing sustainability teams in direct contact with their CFOs and with the investors who hold giant stakes in their companies. And, you know, addressing something, while it may not be as emotionally moving as many parts of the sustainability journey, it's a key lever for real change. I thought it was great. You know, Heather, you quoted Kimberly Lewis. I'm going to quote Kimberly Lewis again. Yesterday in her session, she was talking about advanced equity, and she said, the changing views on equity are leading to, quote, new balance sheets. So it's great to see finance enter into that. That's real impact. And then, you know, ESG is a really confusing topic. As Heather mentioned, there's ratings, there's rankings, there's standards. Eunice Heath yesterday of Dow in one of the sessions on standards says there are just a lot of them. And new regulatory issues are changing by the minute in the US, thankfully, and changing in different ways in different parts of the world. Investors are demanding ESG and governments are regulating it. So since there's confusion, we need dialogue. That dialogue that brings together key stakeholder groups, CSR and sustainability executives with their peers in corporate finance, and banks, NGOs, activist investors, the rest of the community, large investors, bringing that together. This dialogue needs to address complexity, it needs to be impatient about outcomes, and it needs to lead to action. That's the dialogue that we want to bring to life at our next event, GreenFin. This is a unique and vital discussion, and we're just the people to pull it off. So I hope you'll join us. That's April 13th and 14th at GreenFin.